coach was saying that before the game that you really wanted to play tonight to just kind of try and get some rhythm back in your game. Do you feel like you were able to do some of that?
Yeah, I think tonight was a good game for me to just be aggressive, and he made that statement before the game that he wanted me to be more aggressive, not necessarily scoring, but just taking the ball more and being more involved. And I thought the last couple of games I've been passive and letting other guys do stuff. So it was good for me to just get out there and do what I do.
You do put a lot on your shoulders in terms of just getting the ball moving and getting everyone going. How do you try to be aggressive within that and still quarterback the way you want to?
It's tough, and honestly, it is tough because the things that we struggle with offensively sometimes is our ball movement and creating that. We have a few guys who are pretty good at it, and I'm one of them that can create the ball movement, can create side-to-side movement, and sometimes that means you're kind of getting left out of the mix of the shots and opportunities like that. So you kind of try to balance it. You just got to be patient sometimes, and you know that the ball will find you eventually, and just be ready to be aggressive when that time comes.
Did the starters mimic the ball movement of the second unit team sport?
I think it comes a lot from the energy they put into it. Nas, Kyle, Nikhil, you see how fast they move, how much they cut. They screen, they get off of each other really quickly and create space. I think we can, with our first unit, we can be a little bit slower because we have guys who can post, we have guys who can play inside and out, so there's a lot of different opportunities there, so it might make us a little bit slower as a group. But that group we have to figure out how to get that starting unit to play with a little bit more force, a little bit more pace. It'll open things up, I think, for Ant and everybody else to make easier plays.
How important is Rudy on tonight like this? It just seems like he sets such a high floor.
Yeah, Rudy was super locked in today. When we were slipping, he was the guy that brought us together. He was the guy that made the stops when we needed, got the big buckets when we needed. Super efficient, super dominant, and that's what we need out of him. We need him cleaning up the glass when guards go in there and miss shots, and they're trying to send 2 and 3 guys at him, and he's still able to fight through and make plays. That's who he is, and I thought tonight was a great performance from him.
Coach said after the game this was one you guys had to have. How important was it to make sure you enter the homestand 4-3 and get that positive feeling back before you head on the road?
Super important, regardless of how the first 3.5 quarters went or however the game went, we got the dub, and we're going on the road, for a huge road trip at this time of the year. We got a lot of good teams we're going to be facing, and just having some kind of positive atmosphere going into Indy and Cleveland and into the West Coast is going to be huge.
Kyle Anderson feels like he's really fitting into this really well, maybe over the last month. They're struggling a little bit like before the deadline. What have you seen kind of shift in his game over the last month or so?
I think just his role has been even more defined. I think he understands that he needs to be a playmaker for us at all costs. He's a guy that we trust with the ball, a guy we trust making the right decisions, whether it's to score the ball or post up or find guys or get guys in the right spots. And defensively, he's a guy that can switch on to different guys, guard guys that give Jaden a break, give Ant a break. And he's been doing all those things so far, and I think he's just confident in that role. And more of that from him will do us good.
How quickly can a team adapt when usually maybe the guys that are leaned on heavily just don't seem to have it on a given play?
Our team is built to have depth for a reason. We have guys when Ant and Kat don't have big nights. Have a lot of guys who've done that before, who've played that role and can have nights where they go for 20 or 25 and carry the weight for that particular afternoon or evening or whatever. So we just have to be confident in each other and trust each other. Ant comes to me and says, I ain't got it, man. I just had a baby, I'm tired, or whatever it is, man. Like whatever the issue, we're like, all right, I got you, or vice versa, or Cat, or whoever it is. So we just gotta continue to communicate that to each other and be okay with other guys having big nights.
Whatever it is, or is that exactly what
I can't disclose that for sure. But you get he just had a baby, so or his wife did, a girlfriend did, so who knows? He probably didn't sleep much.